Okay, we're live. I don't even know why I am making streams anymore on this, talking about boxing, but I guess we're here. And, in case you didn't know, that new avatar, I actually edited this, changed the color on it, just to swipe on the left or right on an editing app, and boom, that's what you get. So that's pretty alright for me, you know. Salute Mo, how you doing, man? Oh man, both of you. Salute TS Boxing. Um, so yeah, why should Ortiz be mandatory? I mean, because the guy beat the best guy there is. He fought and eliminated him, you know. But I mean, I can see what's coming already, dude. I mean, there's just a whole lot of ridiculousness going on. Hence why I don't really look at this sport like I do anymore, you know. But that's not the main reason. But anyway, I had my takes on the fight anyway. I did my live commentary yesterday, and the two people in the chat right now were actually with me. My favorite fight was the coffee fight. I'll be back in 1 sec, guys. Just give me a sec. Just give me like 5 minutes. Hold on. Okay, what we got here? Sorry, I got myself a sweetie here because I need it. My head is hurting. I got to read these comments. Hey Mo, man, you're busy, man. You work late hours and everything, so I give you a shout out there, man. That's for sure. Same with you, Tyrone, managing my career. But just give me 1 sec. Finally, today was not a hot day, which I'm glad about. And Lando is a rat. But anyway, let me say, I just checked it. IBF put him number 1. Let me check the ratings. You go on their website? Because they didn't put anything on today. Maybe I'll check the boxing rankings. Those guys usually update it on boxlive.com. Heavyweight. Nah, not on my end. Let me see. Yeah, maybe on some other post. But Hrgovic was number 2 for a while. Then I guess it's a Dillian White situation. They're going to have to order that fight. I mean, I know someone that works with the IBF, so they'll probably tell me. But Ortiz was number 10, and he beat number 2. Hrgovic hasn't. What's our shot? They turned down Hrgovic before. Nah, dude. Let me tell you something. Dude, Hrgovic ain't fought no one. Okay. He fought Eric Molina, who was number 35 in the WBC, and that's the only guy he's fought. Who's turned Hrgovic down? You know, like Heike Hunter, and who else? You know, all Hrgovic is gonna do in that fight is just rabbit punch. That's all he's gonna do. I mean, you say about Flores and Martin, but like, what's Hrgovic done to even get to number 3? You know, maybe give Parker it, because Parker at least beat someone of notice. You know, who was actually in the top 15. Hrgovic ain't for no one. He's out here begging for fights. Well, he's not begging for this one, but we'll hear his promoter come out soon. The only reason I'm making this video is because, one, I'm bored, and two, it was on my mind for a bit. But again, why doesn't Hrgovic, you know, go for Joe Joyce or actually fight a ranked fighter? So you get the opportunity for Ortiz, you beat him, and then boom, you get the title shot. I mean, it's not like his color would help either, you know? I mean, you look at Hrgovic's last fight, you know? I'm just eating, so I got some pauses. Come on, bro. He embarrasses Ortiz at this stage. Well, I mean, serves him right for getting him at this age. I mean, you know. I mean, I'm not even putting Hrgovic down. I'm just saying he's fought no one. You know? Because I think Hrgovic will get him. I think he will beat him. Because Ortiz it's not even the punch resistance. He wasn't hurt in that Martin fight. He was buzzed, but he wasn't hurt. The whole leg thing was before that knockdown even happened. He's just old. Genetically, his daughter was sick, which means he's got something that's probably as he gets older, that's going to affect him in some way. Not badly, but just enough to have a little edge go. I'm worried about. Well, I'm not worried, Tyrone. No, I'm not worried at all. This, you know, I'm probably not going to watch any more boxing. I'm just saying. I just like everyone's so entitled in this sport. You know, it's just amazing, like how entitled everyone is. You know, Martin didn't really improve. He did. I mean, Martin beats AJ. I mean, has AJ improved, Mo? Like, you know, has he really? He showed a new layer in the Ruiz fight. Pull-left fight, I mean, heavy bag workout that was. You know? I'm not saying it's like a total landslide, Mo. I'm just saying, like, you know, the way I saw Martin in there, he looked good. I just don't like how beforehand everyone was bigging up Martin. Now that he's been beat, script is flipped. I'm not having that. Because Martin looked really good to me. I've never seen him move like that. You know? Ortiz was laughing when he got knocked down. You know? But I wonder what AJ and Mr. Usyk are doing in what do you call it? In Dubai together. Are they going to announce the fight is there and like and what do you call it? And promote it there? Like, why would they be in Dubai together? You know? Why would they be in Dubai? It's not just coincidence, I'm sure. You know? It's funny because I was actually just looking at what do you call it? Hold on, just give me a sec. All right. Oh, man, my sugar levels, I don't know about today, dude. What's up, Loves D Punch Out TV? How you doing, man? All Mark was doing was just jabbing against someone that showed every. No, I'm sorry. It's just I don't agree with that, bro. I'm sorry. You know, and he made Ortiz bite on those feints. So, but I appreciate your opinion. I appreciate your perspective on it, Mo. It's all good. It was entertaining. But can White please put Fury out with the left hook? Very possible, but I don't even know if Dylan wants to fight now. All these shenanigans, you know. I mean, like Dylan just he gives it a really good talk. I mean, that could have been him yesterday. I mean, how good would that have been for White? He would have been on a pay-per-view, right? He would have beat either Man or Ortiz. Like, I give him so much credit for that. I give him so much credit for that. You know, especially if you got a stoppage or a knockout, because that's what he likes to do. You know, but I don't think Dylan beats Charles Martin. I don't think he does. I don't think Ruiz beats Charles Martin. You know, but like I think Charles Martin was complaining after the fight, and was saying to the ref that was bullshit. That was bullshit because he didn't quite know what was going on, and he wasn't defending himself. You know, I think Ortiz hit him behind the head as he went down. I don't think he meant it. I think just he was letting his punches go, and he caught him once, and I think he hit him in the back a bit. And the glove getting stuck in the rope was not good. I mean, you could tear a muscle if that happens, or you could really hurt your wrist or your forearm or your elbow or your shoulder. I mean, he could have really hurt himself there. But that coffee and rice fight, that was so funny. I was watching that back, and I mean, coffee. I'm sorry, dude. I just looked back, like word for word. He bit on those feints, and he panicked. Like Michael Coffee, what do you call it? Was nervous. He was scared in there. He was scared of Mr. Rice, as Tyrone said. I mean, like, it was embarrassing. Let me read these comments. Ortiz looks very old. Oh, no doubt, Loz. He is very old now. I still think he beats White because White is too sloppy and switches off too much. Dude, Dillian White, you know. Let's hype up Martin until he loses against someone like Kaladze. I like Kaladze. He can fight. I agree, but Mr. Ortiz was just stalking him. It felt like something had to give. Yeah. He's experienced, dude. He knows when it's not going his way. He knows how to get it back. You know? He's better than Frank Sanchez. I'm sorry. Frank Sanchez, I don't know. But it was a late replacement for Sanchez, so I can see, an argument made for why he did that, but he didn't need to back up like that, man. You know? I mean, like, Sanchez is going to get beat, and he's not going to fight for a long time. I give him 3 years left in the sport. He won't fight for long. The weakness Sanchez has is volume. He doesn't throw a lot of punches. He doesn't throw a lot of punches, and Frank Sanchez, Joe Joyce, I want to see. That's an interesting one, Loz, because after looking at that fight against Hammer, I think Joyce beats him, to be honest with you. Because if he doesn't have the power for Joyce, and I mean, he's going to get outpointed. He's going to get out volume for the whole fight. It's going to go to points, and Sanchez is going to complain about the decision, and he's going to make excuses after. You know, give me a sec. Kadaze should fight the ref next. I mean, it'd be hard to knock out the ref because he's got no neck, but I mean, if he could land some body shots, I'm sure he'd beat the ref. Unless the ref just disqualifies him. Or Joe Joyce was someone, because Joe Joyce is packed up, not doing anything. Honestly, Loz, like, I know he's injured, but he wanted to fight Marco Huck next or something. Like, that's a step back. You know what I mean? Like, go and fight like get Parker now. He should go for Parker. Because Parker, he will beat Parker, in my opinion. Like, it'll be the same case with Sanchez. Like, Parker's not going to hold the middle of the ring against Joyce like he did with Chisora. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. You know? Joyce steamrolls Sanchez. After that fight, yeah, he does. You know? Loz agrees with Mo. I think the ref could edge on the decision if they fought. It was meant to fight Big something Turner. I don't understand who that is, Mo. I mean, Tyrone. Who is that dude? I don't know who that is. Oh, he's panicking. He's panicking. That was so funny that yesterday. He had the mobility of a crane. You know? Sean Turner. I mean, after like watching the rest of the year, I gotta give Joyce a lot of credit in terms of just you know, how he's just stayed active. Now he's inactive. But Joe needs to get a move on. Watch the time is creeping up on him. He needs to do something. You know, like he needs to fight. You know, like even Daniel Dubois, he needs to like get on. Like I heard Frank Warren the other day say like in a few weeks or a couple weeks, like or this month or something, like his next fight will be announced and it will be a meaningful fight. It will be a relevant fight. Like, what is that meant to mean, really? Coming from him, like, he's probably going to fight. Let me check the rankings, because he can't fight someone unranked. Not at this point. It's too late. They're making this WBA push now. They can't fight anyone else unranked. Like Mr. Hrgovic has continued to do his whole career. Can't do Yoka or Bakoli. Oh, they're going to fight this Croatian dude. Yeah. Jonathan Gurdy. Yeah. All this Zangos Butski. Yeah. Yeah, it won't be Makhmudov because that's too risky. Yeah. They're gonna fight this 5'11" guy who's from the US apparently. No, he's from the US. Yeah, he's number 13 in the WBA. Or this Kosta Butsky guy that's from Kazakhstan. So he's gonna fight one of them because that's my prediction. Because yeah, Joyce is the boogeyman. He'll embarrass a lot of people. He'll embarrass a couple, but he's not boogeyman, dude. He ain't no boogeyman. You know? But he needs to get active. He needs to get active. You mean Gulliver, who knocked out Tommy Morrison's son? What are you talking about? Let me check again the name. We got the word police in the chat. No, I don't mean what you said. Who are you talking about? Zan Kosobutsky, Jonathan Gertie. I'm pretty sure is that what I said? I'm pretty sure I said that. To be totally honest, the whole heavyweight division's an FMS with fighters not fighting. Apparently, Joyce ducked Ortiz. How is that even true? Very simple. Sign the contract. He was calling his name out, and then all of a sudden he wants to fight Turner. How does that work? And his manager talking all that crap didn't help either. So then Martin stepped in, you know? That's why a lot of fighters going to shut their mouth, because when they say one thing and then do another, that ain't good enough for me, you know? We all remember that clip in 2018. I don't care if it was years ago, dude. I don't care if it was years ago, you know? Joyce was like a little fan. He was like, you know? I don't even want to talk about that. I don't want to talk bad about Joyce at all, you know? I'm talking good. I'll talk good about him because he'll beat the shit out of Hrgovic. I'll tell you that. You know, Ortiz don't want that work. Trust me. Yeah. I mean, whatever you say, Mo. I mean, you can have that opinion if you want, but you know, if you really wanted it, you know, like I said, I don't want to talk bad about Joyce because I think Joyce would beat Ortiz now, but you know, he'd put pressure on, dude. He'd put the volume on, you know. Joyce is just a big dude, man. Just big, you know. But his coaches are letting him down because they're not teaching him good defense, you know. So I mean, yeah, Loz. I mean, you know, I didn't like how Joyce responded. They did a little face off at the weigh-in. I mean, man, David Hay, in my opinion, he didn't do much good for Joe Joyce. I'm muted, sorry. I don't make too much noise putting some rubbish away. Yeah, heavyweight division shit. And Fury and Dillian aren't helping it. That's for sure. I don't blame Fury, though, actually. It's all on Dillian at this point. You know? First bid's in like 5-6 days. I mean, Dillian's going to take it. I mean, how can you... I mean, this will be what? So, Brazil again. Ortiz twice. Pulev. Martin. Not even Martin. Forget that. Joshua. And then it will be Fury. So he would have turned 2 world title shots down. One an offer, then the other one would have been through purse bid as a mandatory spot. I mean, that would be true. I think Dillian will be making history by doing that. The first fighter to turn down 2 title shots in 2 different ways. You know, at heavyweight in this manner. And then saying that no one wants to fight him. Yep, no one wants to fight Dillian. Manuel Char didn't want to fight Dillian. I know that. But we're talking about, like, you know, guys that can actually, throw down. Not some fringe level belt holders. I'm not talking about people like that. I'm talking about the real dudes. Like, they got to get it done. And Eddie Hearn is out here full-on capping, as LFL player says. Capping. Like, what are we doing here? 70, 30, 80, 20, it doesn't matter. You got to take it. You got nothing. If you don't take this, you won't get a shot. You won't get a shot. And then the other thing is this, right? Like, the fight happens, and then hey, what's up, Michael? The fight happens, and then Dillian gets injured or something. How embarrassing would it be though if he didn't even make this fight? Like, he would have turned that Otto Vollen, because he's not fighting in March. You got to understand that. He's not going to fight in March. He won't do that. So, last time he fought was March last year. Povetkin rematch. So this will be his longest layoff he's ever had. It'll be over a year. When it hits March, it will be a year since. That will be the longest layoff of his career, apart from his suspension in 2013. So he will freaking have missed out on one payday, turned down a title shot, and been inactive. And then if he gets in there with someone and then gets knocked out again, which is his specialty these days, he's going to make excuses about being inactive and everything. So, I can't really throw any blame at Fury here. It's just how it is. I've heard no complaints from his side at all. It's all from Dillian. Because Dillian wants it his way. He just wants it to be his way all the fucking time. It's all about him. And he's got guys like Dean White in his ear whispering him. Dean White knows absolutely nothing about how to do business. Nothing at all. Maybe circus business or bullshit business. This is ridiculous, this. I'm not surprised, though. I'm going to laugh if Eddie Hearn loses the purse bid, which he will, because he ain't going to win it. It's just everyone wants stuff served to them on a plate, because that's what, in my opinion, Dillian is trying to do. I think he's trying to be a pain in the ass with this whole fight. And Fury's going to get frustrated, and he's going to vacate. And he wants a vacant title. That's what he wants. He doesn't want to fight Fury, in my opinion. But I'll tell you this. He probably has a good chance of beating Fury now. So if he did, I do want the fight to happen. I do want it to happen. Believe that. Because God knows we won't hear the end of it. Dillian's going to say, he ran from me. Let me read these comments. That's why I said Ortiz would still beat Dillian White, because he switches off. It's not even just that loss. That's a part of it. I agree. But, dude, Ortiz will not leave himself open like Povetkin did. He wouldn't get caught with those shots. That fight will just be Dillian trying to box and be slick and try to bang out at the same time, because he doesn't know what type of style he's doing these days. Dillian is what do you call it? Is trying to be James Toney. In one minute of the round, he's trying to be James Toney. The next minute, he's trying to be like Clubber Lang. Trying to knock your head off. I see in his training videos doing Philly shell and everything. What's going to happen? Like, what are you gonna do with a Philly shell as the heavyweight? Like, I mean, this is, because like the red light on the stop sign, the red light came up, and I thought Povetkin could beat him the first time, and because the Rona, got to Povetkin, he just straight up gassed out, and Dillian got the win back. Showed he actually looked worse in the rematch. Well, his jab was better, but he showed little improvements. I remember me and Mike were commentating on it, and like Dillian was just falling all over the ring. And like even it looked like Dillian even got knocked down in that fight. I mean, like because I remember Mike said that was a knockdown because a punch landed and then Dillian went to the floor. He got up, but like Povetkin landed, and then Dillian swung and then fell down. So it's like, is that a knockdown? Well, I didn't take much notice of it, but I mean, it's crazy. His footwork is probably the poorest I've seen in boxing for a long time. I mean, that's the thing. Like, how is he gonna get in on Fury and cut the distance? Like Chisora, okay, he's a pressure fighter. He has to know how to get in. He's very good at getting in on people, for the most part. But Dillian doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, Dillian couldn't even cut distance against AJ properly. That's why you kept seeing him try to do arm punches and everything, because he was afraid to get hit at long range. So he tried to headbutt and he tried to elbow, and he tried to hit him with wrist shots instead in that fight. And then he tried to get himself disqualified from the fight, because he didn't want to get his ass whooped anymore. Oh man, I find it funny. Dillian's a funny guy, man. He's hilarious, dude. I mean, I've not heard someone in the heavyweight division, apart from Fury, what do you call it? Apart from Fury, talk so much shit and just really refuse to back it up. Just refuse to do it. I love it, dude. I love it. It's hilarious. A guy with 14 fights leapfrogs everybody for an eliminator. Shake my head. Mike, he's not fought a single ranked dude. I'm telling you. He's fought one guy in the WBC who was ranked number 35. And that's Eric Molina. Everyone else was unranked. Everyone else. I mean, they said this was a final eliminator, not semi-final. I saw some people say that. I was under the impression this was a final. But again, these Cubans, they get screwed over all the time. Ortiz's legs. You got to keep saying that, aren't you? He's not Fury gonna F Dillian one up. Me too, Ty, but I don't see it. I mean, Dillian's got a very good chance because Fury, this whole thing of wanting power, because I saw Sugar Hill the other day said he wants more power. I don't know. No, that's not true. It's just an eliminate. I mean, Ty, I don't know. They're saying one thing and they're saying the other, so I don't know what's true. But if I was to guess, it was probably just a semi-eliminator, not a final. I'm just hoping. I mean, I'm not hoping for anything, dude. If White and Fury fight, I don't really care who wins, but I will laugh my ass off if Fury loses. And I'll also laugh my ass off if Dillian loses. Because either Dillian's going to get his head jabbed off and he's going to get put to sleep later, because Dillian can go against anyone, or Dillian's going to stop Fury and he's going to bang him out to the body, or he could land a Hail Mary, but it has to be the hook. It would not be the overhand. because Dillian slaps with his overhand. He doesn't throw good overhand rights. You know, Dillian White throws overhand rights against Chisora. You should never throw overhand rights at a shorter fighter ever. Never should you do it. You should never do that. But, Dillian, he does what he wants. Kronk style is a myth now. They got rid of the old building years ago. Yeah, it's not there anymore. Is it not there anymore? Did they have a Kronk gym in Detroit and New York? I think they had one in New York. I'm not sure. I think everyone here will be laughing. Oh, yeah, we will. We will. That shit will be funny. For some reason, I don't think the fight will work out, though. I just think it won't work out. I think Dillian is he's gonna sit on this 45% beg. And I don't think he's gonna do it, but you never know. It might happen. I won't be surprised if it happens. Old Javon Hill is that Kazakh at 140 who's inactive. Shishkin. Is it Vladimir Shishkin? Oh no, Shishkin at 168, and that bum Ali Walsh and Mr. Fury. Yeah, Nico Walsh can't really he can't fight. He can't fight. But you know what? It's good that he acknowledged that he's writing off his grandfather's name. In the chat, what do we think of Usyk versus Joshua 2? Who do we have winning that? Do we have Anthony winning, or do we have Mr. Alexander winning that fight? Because that should happen before, probably June this year. Ortiz got them old man knees. Knees, maybe, you meant to say? Or needs. Maybe. Facts, White won't budge. Oh, he lost. Believe me when I say this. He's going to sit on that 45%. He's going to sit on it. And he's probably going to be arguing with everyone about it. And they won't give a shit because they'll say, yeah, like, so what? I think 70, don't get me wrong, guys. Don't get it twisted. I don't care about the whole negotiation bit of it. I'm just saying what's real. And like I live on Earth, right? Dillian is from Mars or something. So that's all I'm saying, just like our trainers here have become trash as well. We got no talent in Australia, which is good because they don't try to act like it anymore as of now. The guys you have over there, Tyrone, they try to act like they're freaking Bernard Hopkins or Pretty Boy Floyd or Zab Judah or Pernell Whitaker. They try to act like those guys over there. I got AJ winning if he moves that damn head of his. Interesting. Usyk in a similar fight. Lozdy says Usyk. Who would White fight for the vacant? Deontay is retired as he should be. Well, we don't know if he's retired. Who would White fight? Let me check the rankings. WBC ratings, December 2021. You know what I would like for the vacant? If it becomes vacant, I would like Dillian versus Joyce. Just get that one on. Dillian versus Joyce. Make that one happen. And Joyce will become champion. Because he'll beat the crap out of Dillian. I'm telling you right now, dude, he will beat the crap out of Dillian. Let me see the ratings. Heavyweight. Ruiz versus White. I think White would knock Ruiz out. Ortiz, that won't happen. He's the IBF. Parker. Parker versus White too. Now Parker is up in the WBO. Hunter, I don't think Hunter's interested in being competitive anymore. No, this is wrong. These are old ones. What am I doing? What am I doing? Is this it? This has got to be it, surely. It's November, but it's pretty close. Well, Frank Sanchez is number 5 in the WBC. Parker's number 4. Ruiz is 3. Joyce is number 2. Wild is number 1. Interim champion Dillian White. WBC international champion Martin Bacoli. WBC silver champion Joe Joyce. Agree watchers. Remember, he didn't fight AJ because he said AJ would not give him enough money. How much do you offer him? Like 4 million? Because I know the currency is different. 5 million pounds. How much is that in my currency? 4 million pounds in AUD. It's $7 million, $7.4 million in Australian form. Yeah, that's not enough money. Okay. America is not the Shambhala of boxing. There is like zero money in amateur boxing here. Well, yeah, because amateurs don't get paid. You're talking about like pushing amateur boxing to get better. I think that's what you mean. I think Deontay is 100% retired. We'll have to find out. Great decision. Great. Was it my take on White versus Joyce as the decision for vacancy? If so, if that's what it's directed, the great decision to Tyrone. I appreciate that. Joyce smashes White everywhere. Oh, yeah. You never hear White talk about it. Dude. Joyce will beat the shit out of him. He's going to hit him to the body. Dylan's going to cover up on the ropes, and he's going to throw wild punches, and he's going to get caught with a straight one down the middle. He's going to fall on his face. Parker needs to step up now. No more bum bashing. Well, he could slide in if Dillian doesn't even end up fighting for a vacant title. You know? In my opinion, Parker should fight Joyce. Or like fight Ruiz again. Just put a nail in the coffin for that. 5 million. Yeah, 5 million pounds. 5 million pounds. Let me see. 5 million pounds to AUD. $9.3 million. What? Come on, dude. Dillian living in La La Land. No support system. Yeah. Same here, Tyrone. No one cares about it here either. Deontay's decision to retire. If I'm not even going to talk about Deontay, you're going to have to really drag it out of me to talk about Deontay. And he made $7 million against Derek Chisora. Yeah, I remember that. So Josh was almost offering $10 million to fight him at Wembley for 4 belts, but nah, it's not enough money. Oh, man. I mean, my lord. I mean, Joshua had absolutely no problem fighting White again. None whatsoever. None. And that would have been a really good fight, in my opinion. You know? Why do you have him as your avatar then? No, because I just thought it was cool how I changed the colors. Yeah. I just thought it was cool. You know? I can change it if you want, Mr. TS. I'm not fussed. Mike says White knew he was in no condition to fight AJ. I mean, to be honest, dude, like, that's on him, you know? You know, he's getting thrown around the ring by Chisora. Getting there with AJ's gonna fucking put you to bed. He's gonna read you a bedtime story. And what I mean by that is he's gonna trash talk you in the ring like he did back in 2015 when AJ was talking shit to him and punching his head in. You know? Dylan didn't want it. It ran. Parker could lose that 10 pounds off. I think Parker will give Fury real problems. The Parker of 2016 would have beat Fury with aggression. He would have beat him. It's a small guy. Fury struggles to land on some smaller guys. You know. I mean, like Parker is just I don't like how he's fighting lately. I mean, what is he doing? You know, he's got no dog in him, dude. I swear, man. He's too nice in there. Why do we live in a world where Fury is regarded as the best heavyweight? I don't know, Tyrone. I don't know. That's my answer to that. White is a fraud. Honestly, I think he's a coward, and I really think he's a true coward if he avoids this Fury fight. In my opinion, I think he's a true coward if he does that. I think all that's missing is a back turn, and he will have that accolade for a title. You know, you watch Loz. Dean White will come out and say, "Oh, they were trying to lowball us. He's getting offered $10 million for this fight. $10 million. You know? Oh, old boy Otto. Yeah, that's it. Otto Wallen. I want to see Otto Wallen up there. I want to see him do something. Just, you know, it'll be interesting to see him back in the ring doing some stuff. You know? I'll tell you this. You know, boxing in 2022 makes you really appreciate, you know, the old school way of how it used to be in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. You know, that that was boxing back then. Now it's just a complete joke. And I didn't even grow up in that time. I went back and watched those fights. You know? Parker's problem is he lacks killer instinct. Dude, if he had killer instinct, he'd get a lot of stoppages. But he hasn't improved, really. He's relying on power these days and just clinching and leaning. That's bullshit. And his coach, Andy Lee, is not a good trainer, in my opinion. I mean, Andy Lee is just... I mean, lightning in a bottle against Peter Quillen, I'll tell you that. Crazy, 10 million and turning down fights. If I had Black Star on here, this stream would be 10 times as heated as what it is. I mean, because Loz, like 5.5 million pounds is $10 million Australian dollars. That is, I don't understand. I can't even emphasize. I can't even emphasize how much money that is to turn down. Not once, but twice. Twice. I don't think he wants to fight anyone. This is what I'm saying. I actually don't think he actually wants to fight anyone. Like he like Dylan is milking the cows, dude. He's milking it. And he's gonna sit on what he thinks he wants. He's that deluded. But I don't want to talk too much about the money side of it. But it's funny. It's just funny to me. It's so hilarious. Yeah, boxing is shit, Loz. I mean, like, you know, I should watch some. I watched some basketball today. That's how put off I am. What about Peter Quillen? No, because remember when Andy Lee fought Peter Quillen, and like, you remember? Don't you remember the fight? He fought Peter Quillen, and like Peter knocked him down, and then he knocked Peter Quillen down, and they fought to a draw. They fought to a draw. I think that was in New York as well. Like, Loz, do you think Joe Joyce would turn down $10 million to fight Fury or Joshua? No, he'd take that shit in a heartbeat. Michael Hunter, Parker, definitely, he'd take that shit. Chisora, no, like, all these guys will take it. You know? But Dillian White, no. You know? If I was White, I would have done the same thing about that 20%, but White ain't coming into this fight in shape. Yeah, I mean, that's you, Mike, you know. I respect that opinion of yours, you know. But like, see, Mike, I can be reasonable, right? Okay, you don't want 20%? Let's just get a little bit higher. You know? Even if it's a damn 5% or an 8% increase. Better than nothing, yeah? I don't blame him for that. You know? I don't blame him for that. But at the end of the day, $10 million is $10 million. You know? And if you beat Fury, you're going to get even more. So he's not in shape, Mike. I don't know what this guy is doing. He was in much better shape back in like 2012. Probably because he was on that juice. But dude, he's like, I saw him the other day. He's doing deadlifts. He's doing the shoulder press, bench press. I'm like, this is not going to help you last 6 rounds, dude. You got to gas. Because if Fury leans on you, weightlifting is not going to help with that. You know? You just use your natural strength and focus on endurance instead. You know? Because he's already got strength. He's got enough strength already. He doesn't need to get stronger. Heyman convinced Quillen to vacate the WBO instead of fighting on a Rock Nation event because of his issues with Jay-Z. I knew about the vacating thing, but I had no... let me look up Rock Nation event. Rock Nation event. Oh, yeah. See, I didn't realize he had issues with that dude. No way Joe would jump at the... No way. Yeah, he would jump at the chance, yeah. Don't forget, he turned down Pulev fight for #1 Mando for the IBF. Yeah. That was a swerve. Dillian's a real swerver. I just laugh every time. I mean, like, and Hearn has tricked the public in the UK into thinking, because when I went to England, I was talking to some guys who are like of African or like Caribbean descent, and they were saying I had a weird accent and everything. But we were watching the Joshua Ruiz fight, at a place, like, you know, all the British fans were there, and I was talking with them. They're like about 8 of them. They were really cool people to meet. And I asked them about Dillian, and they're like, nah, like, I don't think Dillian will get past like Wilder, Joshua, or Fury. But it's good to know that some people can, you know, at least see some form of common sense. Like, I look at Pulev, and I think Dillian could have beat Pulev, but, you know, this is what Dillian does. He loves to give it all that shit talk, and when it comes down to it, he had no problem fighting Parker on late notice. When Parker only had a month to train, he had no problem doing that. But this shit right here with Fury, this is pitiful, this. Believe that. You know? And we got people out here defending it, you know? You know? Like, Andy Ruiz would kill for this opportunity. And that's why his name was mentioned. That's why his name was mentioned. You know, him and Hellenius, they'll take that. They see those guys aren't gonna. I mean, look at Ruiz, right? He took that Joshua fight on late notice. He beat Joshua, and then he negotiated for it. Do you remember when like Eddie Hearn was like saying, "Oh, Ruiz wants more money"? He got more money in the end. He lost the second fight, but you see, he did good business there, except putting a rematch in for himself. But that's a whole nother thing. But you know, Dillian can take some notes there. You know. Yep, Swerver. Long not heard that. Server or Swerver? Yeah, Swerver. Yeah, that's it. Not heard that for some time. Oh yeah, Swerve. He I don't believe he wants it. I don't believe he wants it. Well and truly, he can beat Fury. Fury's not invincible. He's not unbeatable. He can beat Fury. He needs to fight him on the inside and stay there. If he tries to box Fury, he's going to get his head knocked off. And that will be that. You know? I mean, someone made this post. Who do you think is the best heavyweight boxer in Britain history? There's a picture of Frank Bruno, Lennox Lewis, Fury, Joshua, and Dillian. And everyone's saying Lennox. I mean, Dillian White wouldn't even beat Frank Bruno, dude. Frank Bruno will beat the absolute piss out of him. Freaking crazy. I guess because there's not too many heavyweights in British history that have, reached a notable status, I guess. But yeah, whatever happens with Fury and White, I don't really care. Let's see this comment. Give me a sec. Fury, White, and AJ are all holding up the heavyweight division with rematch reclaws. I like that reclaws and money issues. Yeah, I mean, like, he took his eye off the ball, Loz. He could have beat Usyk, Like, this is what happens when you take your eye off the ball. He was worrying about Fury so much, but he still knew that Fury could be fighting Wilder because of all that bullshit happening with the arbitration. But he was so hell-bent on getting that Fury fight and not fighting Usyk straight away. And gets in the ring with Usyk and has a very bad night with Usyk. He had some good moments, but this isn't Ruiz too. This is Usyk we're talking about, who, in my opinion, is going to be the last man standing. I mean, Joshua needs to get it together. I'm not going to write Joshua off. I will not hate on a man down. I will not hate on him because Joshua can beat him. He can beat him. He just needs to be aggressive. Press him. Press the dude. Use a good jab. Feign him. When you're in a clinch, hit him in the ribs. And do your thing. And move your head. And if you don't move your head, use a good cross guard or a high guard. Because he was slipping some shots last time. But he wasn't moving his feet. You see, and that's another thing. The footwork of a lot of these heavyweights is really shit. Bruno would F up a lot of heavyweights. Today's heavyweights. Yeah. I believe you believe Bruno what he says, dude. I mean, he went out on his shield. You know, he didn't have many easy fights either. You know, it was usually domestic level. He'd knock a guy out. And then when it came to the world titles and everything, it was life and death. Some he won, some he lost. So I give him credit for that. Him and Lennox, that was a really good fight. That. But man, he walked onto that punch, and that once that punch landed, dude, that shit was over with. But he would not go down. He wouldn't go down. I think that was worse than the two Mike Tyson fights. That Lennox Lewis knockout was the worst in my opinion. Because Lennox freaking, oh man. I can't believe Bruno didn't go down from that. Those ropes were holding him up as well. I just thought, shit, man. I mean, he should have actually gone down. He should have taken a knee, in my opinion. Yeah, AJ looked over. I mean, you can't look over these guys, man. Man. Ware versus Fury. White. I think you say Ware. White versus Fury is going to be too out of shape, motherfuckers. Yeah, it will. But you know what? Fury's calmer in the ring. So if I'm to bet on someone getting tired first, it will probably be White. But if White hits him to the body, Fury will get tired first, pretty much. Press him, rough him up, use your height and power. Yeah. Joshua could do it. I'd be so happy if he got that win. I'd be really happy. But the thing is, he could have beat him the first time. Him and Floyd are training with each other a little bit. I saw them in Dubai. I don't know what Floyd can bring for Joshua though. I mean, what? It's gonna be interesting, this fight with Usyk. I mean, imagine Joshua goes in there and he just shows something really special. Then he would be the best heavyweight for sure, in my opinion. Look into Bruno. He never ducked anyone. Oh, I know, Loz. He will fight anyone. Let me look at his box rec. Frank Bruno. Former boxer Frank Brunos reveals Colombian traffickers once threatened to kill him. Oh my gosh. It's terrible. I'm glad to see he's doing better. He had a lot of issues, man, when he stopped boxing. It was not nice to see. I'm glad he sorted it out. Lennox, Mike Tyson twice, Witherspoon, Smith. He shouldn't have lost to Smith. Damn, imagine if he beat Tyson. He would have had 3 damn belts. That's crazy. Carl Williams. Oliver McCall. That was a good fight. He just made it in that fight. I think that was a Don King card as well. Yeah, you remember that fight, Loz? Yeah, I mean, freaking. Yeah, Lennox was something else, dude. Fucking, he was, Lennox Lewis was, that is the top 5 best heavyweights ever. Easily. I know a lot of people didn't like him because he didn't fully embrace the UK, but he was part Canadian as well. So it's like, It's good that he just did what he wanted. He focused on his career. He understood the importance of it, of winning, of getting across that line, you know, and he beat everyone there, you know. Like Lennox would beat every heavyweight today. Every heavyweight's getting beat today by Lennox Lewis. Lennox was very hard to fight on the inside with as well, because he could fight a bit on the inside, but he'd lean on you a bit, or he'd pivot out, or step out, you know. But that was true boxing. That was true boxing. That stuff is a pleasure to watch. I gotta watch some more old school fights as well. Let me check if there's any updates on this thing. Any news? No. Nothing yet. I could not see any heavyweight of today beating Oliver McCall. But Frank did. Yeah. McCall had some issues too, but he could fight. He knocked out Lennox Lewis. Yeah, man. Is Oliver still fighting? Let me check his box rec. Oliver McCall. Oh, man, that second Lennox fight, though, that was crazy. Oh, my God. He won 2 fights recently. 2018, he won. And then he won in 2019. That is nuts, dude. That is crazy, dude. That is nuts. Huh. I can't believe that. How old is the dude now? Let me see. He's 56, dude. My God. That is nuts. Frank's problem was he had too much muscle. Man, for Frank, yeah. He had pretty bad defense as well. He didn't do very well against guys that threw a lot of volume. If it was one punch at a time, he'd do pretty good. But once they swarm, he just crumbled, And he couldn't keep his hands up because of all that muscle. He did too much weightlifting. He should have taken some time to cut down a bit. He would have been much quicker and had more stamina and endurance, And he was already a bit robotic. He needed to loosen up more, If he loosened up, then it would have worked out better for him in that case. Lennox was a very special fighter, definitely one of the greatest. Oh, yeah. 100%, dude. I was thinking of Vitaly and of Vitaly and when Vitaly Klitschko and Lennox Lewis fought. That was really good. I thought that Vitaly put up a really good fight there. I don't think it should have been stopped. The cut was bad, but it wasn't that bad to the point where they should have stopped it. But Lennox Lewis talked about how it was really different him fighting a guy that tall, 6'7", 6'8", and his hands were being out there like jousting, and having to aim up a bit more. Lennox had never really had to do that before, maybe against Michael Grant, but Michael Grant didn't really he didn't have that technique and that skill like Vitaly did, you know? Which is why I also say Vitaly is one of the better heavyweights as well. He's a top 10 heavyweight of all time as well, because if you look at who he lost to, he lost 2 fights only. Lennox Lewis on cuts, and Vitaly that fight was neck and neck. And then Chris Bird, I think Vitaly blew his shoulder out or something, so he quit. Well, not quit, but he couldn't continue. I think the doctors, because it was like popped out or something. But yeah, I remember when Chisora fought Klitschko, I thought, like, how is Chisora going to beat this dude? He did really well, Chisora, in that fight, but it just wasn't enough, you know? He went to Germany for that fight, put a good performance up. I think that was Vitaly's second last fight of his career, you know? He's like 50-something and still fighting. Yeah, I don't think he's fighting anymore, but he fought like 2 or 3 years ago. Basic. It sure is something, dude. I mean, I don't know how Bernard Hopkins did it. He was much lighter though, and he always stayed in shape, so that helped. That type of thing always helped. Man. So yeah, I might hop off in a few minutes. But yeah, I gotta look out for some other people out there making comments. Sorry, not comments, content. Frank had a flat feet as well. Yeah, I just wonder what he would have been like if he moved. If he moved, he would have been good, because Frank was a big dude, but Frank would be a small heavyweight today. He was only 6'3". He looks about 6'6", but he's actually only 6'3". And I saw shades of movement that he could do, but I just don't think he had very good coaching either. And I feel that he had to talk himself up for some fights, like the Mike Tyson fights. He could have beat Mike. He hurt Mike in that fight, that first one, But I don't know why he held on to him and kept punching him in the clinch on the side of the ear. I don't know why he kept doing that. He should have not let Tyson hold him. Should have been thrown the 1-2 down the middle, and throwing some uppercuts. But Frank didn't really know how to throw uppercuts like that. And he left himself open when he threw hooks a lot of the time. He didn't bring his hands back. He didn't tuck his chin in. Frank was just a bit he wasn't well schooled, but he could fight when he got his leverage, he could really let it go, Mister, he pushed me out the ring. I'm pretty sure he got knocked out the ring, I don't even know why he was complaining about it. I mean, like, the hook landed and he just freaking went out. I mean, he was trying that slick shit and then he got hit. I mean, I don't feel bad for him at all. Like, he got hit out the ring and then he complained about it. He's like, I was making him miss. I was making him look silly, so he pushed me out the ring. It's just not true at all, Bernard. It's just like so far from the truth. Like, it's no big deal. I mean, it was his last fight. It was a bad fall, but I mean, shit, protect yourself, dude, so you don't end up in those positions. Klitschko Lennox fight. Lennox knew his time had come to an end. Oh yeah, when that fight ended, he thought, "Yep, that's it for me." 100%, and that's okay because he fought for a long time anyway. But he knew that was it. He knew that was it. because Vitaly tested him like no other. Vitaly really tested him, you know. So yeah. All right, peace to you, Loz. Yeah, I'll finish it up now. Yeah, we had a good talk, had a good discussion on here at least, so that's good. You know, I actually enjoy talking boxing today, so I appreciate everyone in the chat who participated. You know, and that's what I want. I just want to talk. You know, if I can, talk boxing like this because this is a good talk to have at least. You know, we can learn a thing or two from each other as well, which is a good thing. But yeah, I'll leave it at that, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see how it goes. All right, peace.